Okay, this is super late at night, but right now my brain is working and I really wanted to get this done. So I know that people are concentrating on the president and the Senate, but people don't know what they're really voting for. And I know that the machines have a Democrat and Republican button where you can just click and it selects all, but we got to be more intelligent than that. So I'm going to try to help. I was unfortunately given my voting stuff late. So I had to basically do a lot of research in a crunch time and with my disability. So forgive the very short descriptions that I'm going to give, but I'm trying to make the research bite-sized for other people so that way they have time to at least look at what I wrote and they can decide for themselves. Legally, I cannot tell you how I voted. I guess I can suggest how you can vote, but I'm not going to do that. I'm strictly to the facts that I was able to read, which was a whole lot of reading. And unfortunately, I got about 80% done and then my brain fried. So I had to have my mother help me out. But yeah, let's start. So the first thing you're gonna vote for is Railroad Commissioner, which funny enough has nothing to do with railroads. They need to change the name and the description. Well, I guess they did change the description because if you look it up, they'll tell you it has nothing to do with railroads anymore. It has to do with regulations for energy is the easiest way to put it. So this is a Republican. Christy Craddock fights against radical left, against green energy, so against the Green New Deal. And she is bought and bribed from what I can tell. So this is a Democrat. Catherine Colbert, pro-safety protocols, hold corporations accountable. That's what I got out of her listings. And then there's the libertarian option. Hawk Dunlap wants to change how wells are plugged, which I know nothing about. So I just put what I understood is what he's saying. I don't know how to explain it because I don't know what I'm talking about. Plug the wells. Plug the wells. Ensure more gas takeaway capacity and push for new markets for our resources. I guess that means he wants to sell more. Sell our resources to other markets. Wants to deal with the over injection of produced water before taking on serious risks like SECAS, which is another term for plugging the wells. For water recycling, reduce groundwater use for oil and gas. Again, don't know the process, but I am for this. I'm for water recycling. I do like that because we use a lot of groundwater for everything and we're very wasteful. This is the Green Party. Eddie Espinoza, phase out fossil fuels, protect fresh water, pro renewable energy, cap orphaned, zombie unplugged idle oil and gas wells. So the same as this guy. Hold corporations accountable for environmental damage. So now we move on to Justice Supreme Court Place 2. This is a Republican. So Jimmy Blacklock, appointed by Greg Abbott. Very close ties with Greg Abbott, sorry. Getting funding by Texas Patriots PAC, Texas Rights to Life Committee, and Texas Oil and Gas Association. He wants a good government committee. I don't know why I put good there. Yeah, because I would put it over here if this was part of that. So I don't know why I put good there. Wants to sanction the bar, which is interesting. He wants to sanction the bar, the bar that got him his position because he passed the test. Dacian Jones. Everything I read up to her was platitudes and cliches. I couldn't find much other than she speaks very flowery words. Okay, so Republican Justice Supreme Court, place 4. John Devine endorses Blacklock, so they're tied. Funding from TLR PAC, Texas Homeschool, and Texas Homeschool Coalition, which there's controversy around that. You'd have to look that up. There's a few controversies. Also platitudes and cliches. This is a Democrat. Christine Vine Weems. Very specific, lots of accolades. And I put the sources, if you want to stop to, put this all in, you can. She has a lot of accolades, a lot of experience, and very specific. So if you really want to read up on her, do that, because she's got a lot. Keep that there for a little bit longer so you can get it. Okay, moving on. So this is Justice Supreme Court place 6. Representative, Republican, Jane Bland, connected to Greg Abbott, lots of accolades. And then I put also a link so you can copy and paste, read it for yourself. He's got a lot of experience. Denied 20 women charges against state as they were denied medically necessary abortions, no exceptions. That's what he's for, and that's what he did. So Democrat, Bonnie Lee Goldstein, pro-campaign financial reports transparency. So she wants to, finances transparency. Limitations on contribution, so she wants to limit money going into politics, which is cool. Improve investment technology for those who need the means to have access to the court. Against party affiliation for judges, promotes nonpartisan. Now this is the libertarian option. J. David Robertson, transparency of donations, increase funding public defender offices, i.e. renovations and ease of access. So kind of with this person, but wants to make the buildings look prettier. So that's what he's for, and not nonpartisan. He wants transparency of what party affiliation they are in, and I don't want to put words in his mouth. I don't want to say loyal to the party, but he does say that the party should represent where your stance is on. So I'll just leave it at that. Okay. Presiding Judge, Court of Criminal Appeal. This is a Republican. David J. Shank. I don't know how to say his name. Supported by Trump constitutionists. Oh, I read it like a one sentence. No, supported by Trump, he is a constitutionalist, which that is such a contradiction. Follows her own core values is what I took out of reading her stuff, her bio, and what she goes for. I don't know how to say it, sorry. Highly regarded lawyer. She is recommended by, I think they said, by every newspaper in San Antonio. But yeah, you'll have to do more reading in that, but she's highly regarded. Take that with what you will. Democrat Holly Taylor promotes impartial judges should recuse themselves if connected to case in any manner, which is, that should be standard practice. platitudes and cliches also. So now we move on to Judge, Court of Criminal Appeal, Place 7. This is Gina Parker, NRA affiliate, supported by Donald Trump, follows Texas and U.S. Constitution. Again, contradiction. Democrat. Nancy Mulder. Platitudes and cliches made little to no statements. She was hard to look up. I couldn't find much. So do with that with what you will. This is a Republican. Judge, Court of Criminal Appeal, Place 8. Lee Finley. Constitutionalists. Transparency and full disclosure, which means money and what decisions they made. Show off the experience. This is a Democrat. Oh no, I'm sorry, not yet. Found mostly nothing endorsed by Trump. Yeah, I couldn't find much, but he is endorsed by Trump. Which again, being a constitutionalist and endorsed by Trump, very contradiction. Chica Aniem, Democrat. Full transparency, promotes less criminal charges and more rehabilitations. Laws should be interpreted strictly to the legislative intent. So that's what she stands for. There's not much else to say other than I do have a question mark here, because this can be interpreted in many ways, but it is what it is. There's those are the words given, and you'll have to make your own judgment call on that one. So this is Justice, 4th Court of Appeals, District, Place 3. This is Todd McRae, Republican. Eagle Scout, concerned because if you watch on Netflix, look up the biography of Eagle Scouts. So either he was lucky, either he was a victim, or he was a problem. I don't know anything about his history with the Eagle Scouts. This is what I conducted, so I put concerned because Eagle Scouts is not a good organization at all. You think Epstein was bad? This was bad. Promotes impartial, uphold the U.S. Constitution, lots of accolades, and I put a link so you can look it up yourself because it was a lot. So Cynthia Marie Chapa, Democrat, heavily works with community, volunteer and donating, large pedigree for fighting for the working class, which means she did a lot of lawyer stuff where she fought for everyday people. And then I left the URL here too, so you can look it up yourself. So, Justice, 4th Court of Appeals District, Place 4, Lori Massey Brissett, connected to Greg Abbott, promotes full transparency, believes in community engagement unless connected to case, wants to speed up processes in court decisions, nonpartisan. I think I wrote that twice. Yeah, it's connected to Greg Abbott. Yeah. Wrote it twice. And then this is where my brain fried. What I found with her, I just didn't write it down, was platitudes and cliches. And I think that's it. I didn't read much into her, so I don't exactly know. And then that's it for what I got down. The rest is going to be up to you to maybe just guess which one you want to vote for. So let's talk about this. We're going to read, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decisions that we have to vote on. And I'm not too keen on these decisions. So let me And help me in the comments because I don't know how to vote on these decisions just from what I am reading. Of course, I could look it up to get in a deeper dive, but I'm out of time. I have to turn this in. So this is City of San Antonio, whatever I said. Proposition A, Ethics Review Board. Shall Article 13 entitles Ethics Review Board of the City Charter be amended to add a definition of conflicts of interest, require sufficient funding to the Ethics Review Board so it may perform all its assigned duties, and authorize the Ethics Review Board to accept or decline complaints that have been resolved by an entity other than the Ethics Review Board. I don't know what I just read. I don't fully understand it. I am ignorant on this, so I will be voting ignorantly. I don't know what that means. This does not help me at all. Requires sufficient funding to the Ethics Review Board so it may perform all its assigned duties. So it wants to add conflict of interest, define it, wants more funding, which I don't know the funding for this. I would need deeper numbers. Just writing it requires more funding. For all I know, they're getting paid $100,000 per person and they want more. I don't know. I need more detail. So unfortunately, that's going to be an ignorant vote. So this one, shall the City of San Antonio Proposition B, language modernization. Shall the following section of the city charter be amended to revise or eliminate provisions which have been superseded by state law and to update archaic language to current usage? I guess it just hasn't updated in a while, so they want to update the wordage, but I mean, that also means they can change whatever to mean whatever. You know what I'm saying? I don't fully understand, but I get where they're coming at, where it's a language that we don't, it's a expired English, I guess is the best way to put it. So then City of San Antonio, Proposition C, City Manager Tenure and Compensation. Shall the charter of the City of San Antonio be amended to grant to City Council the authority to set the full term of the city manager's employment, including tenure and compensation? I got nothing because I don't know who's in charge of it now, and they want to give the city council the authority to do it. Who's in charge of it now? I don't know. So the next one, City of San Antonio, Proposition D, City Employee Political Activity. Excuse me. Shall the charter of the City of San Antonio be amended to allow city employees to participate in local political activity consisting with state and federal law while protecting employees against political retribution and maintaining a general prohibition on participation in local political activities for the city leadership team? So when I read this, I would think that they want city employees to participate in local political activities. I mean, they're people, so I don't know what would prevent them, other than if they're counting votes, that they have to be impartial and not work with either candidate. But how do you stop them? Like, this doesn't make sense to me. I would need more an explanation on this one. So, City of San Antonio, Proposition E, City Council Compensation. Shall the charter of the City of San Antonio be amended to set and limit the compensation for City Council members and the mayor at $70,200 and $87,800 annually, with annual future adjustments to correlate to the United States housing and urban development 4-member household median income for San Antonio, and authorize a council member or the mayor to decline any or all of the established compensation. So this tells me they want to make this process streamlined, which concerns me because I believe in checks and balances. So this tells me that they're giving more power, more control of their money, because they said to set $70,200 and $87,800 annually, while allowing the annual future adjustments to correlate to the United States housing, which means I guess you can say it's tied to inflation, which that's what should be. Minimum wage is tied to inflation, but anyway. And they give the mayor the power to do that. I don't know who controls it now then, but they want the mayor to just control it, and a council member, I guess. So I don't know. My dog's having a nightmare. Shall the charter of the City of San Antonio Proposition F, City Council terms. Shall the charter of the City of San Antonio be amended to extend the terms of all elected members of City Council, including the mayor, from 2 years to 4 years, and changing the term limits from 4 full terms to 2 full terms, which I guess you can go for either way. It equals the same, but I much prefer that the politicians has to keep going out there instead of getting lazy and, only having to worry about 2 elections instead of 4. But at the same time, you can think about, well, it'll either cost less and or you're able to save up more money to launch a better campaign. To me, I don't know. To me, yeah, it can go either way. I got no difference of opinion either way. So all these things that I read, I am ignorant on. I don't know much about the propositions, and the wording doesn't make sense to me. So I hope I helped with your voting, with what little information I gave out. Hopefully next time I get the items out early, because I don't know how to look this stuff up. I've tried to look this up years prior on what's being voted on. I try to get ahead of the curve, and it's always I never get not even close to what I read to you. It's hard for me to look up everything, so I like to get mail in, plus I'm disabled, get mail in, and then do my research at home when I can on my own time. So I try not to vote ignorantly, and I'm able to have research. But yeah, that's what I got so far. Hopefully this helps the city of San Antonio.